Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for is finally here. The brand new trailer for Venom Let There Be Carnage. Just as I was telling you the past couple days, it came today. It happened, and I am so excited about this because, this trailer, well, I do wish it maybe focused a bit more on the story and really showing us, what this movie's about, because I still don't really know for sure, except, Carnage's origin and Venom having to take him down and everything. I still loved it because this trailer really focuses on Carnage and his design and everything, and wow, I have to say, they knocked it out of the park with this Carnage design. I did a video the other day about this new statue for Carnage in this movie, and he looks so good there, but in this movie, in this trailer, he looks so good as well. I mean, in the first trailer, he looked good too, but, the shots they gave us of Carnage in the first trailer, parts of it, the lighting was off, another part, he, it just looked weird. There were parts in the first trailer where he almost looked like basically Riot, but red. But in this trailer, he's Carnage, and he looks so good. Again, there's, not a single thing I would change about this. They knocked it out of the park with the Carnage design. And guys, we are, of course, going to go ahead and break down this brand new trailer for Venom Let There Be Carnage. Possibly the final trailer for this film, because, well, it releases next month, so I doubt they're going to put out a whole new trailer. But if they want to, then I'll gladly take it. So, anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this and break down the brand new trailer for Venom Let There Be Carnage. So, just like the first trailer, we start off exploring a little bit of the relationship between Eddie and Venom, because now they're basically roommates, except instead of, just living in the same apartment, they're living in the same body. So, we really get to explore the relationship here. They're going through some tough times, and Venom's always wanted to go out and fight crime and, eat people, snacking on the bad guys. We get a good look at Ravencroft here. This is the facility, almost insane asylum that Cletus Kasady, aka Carnage, is being held at, along with Shriek as well. Who in the comics is actually Carnage's girlfriend, or at least at times love interest. So it seems like they're going to be doing that same type of story here, where maybe, I don't know if they'll necessarily be in a romantic relationship. I mean, most likely, because that's how it was in the comics, but at least they'll be working together. Most likely they're going to escape together, and I'm really excited to see her. We saw in the first trailer how she has the marking on her eye, just like Shriek does in the comics. So I'm liking that, and I like seeing the little glimpses and teases of her powers to, Shriek, kind of in the name. And then, of course, also, as we saw in the first trailer, number one rule, no eating people unless they're bad guys. That was very well established in the first movie. And then we get this nice conversation between Venom and Eddie. And in the first movie, when I first saw this happening, when Venom would come out of Eddie's body and talk to him like that, I thought it was kind of weird, but now I'm getting more used to it, and I actually think it's pretty cool. Instead of just Eddie talking to himself and Venom just being in his head, I think this is a cool interpretation. So I like seeing this, but then he actually accidentally breaks Eddie's nose and then has to break it back into place. So that was kind of a funny moment there. And then Eddie, he sets off on his journey for this film, where he goes to visit Cletus Kasady, again at Ravencroft, because that was the post-credit scene for the first Venom movie, where Cletus Kasady wants Eddie to tell his story. And we see that Eddie is actually working on an article for the Daily Bugle. And in the first movie, he had his own news, I don't remember if it was his own news show or his own news company or something along those lines, but it looks like now he's working for the Daily Bugle just like he does in the comics. And this logo, I believe, is actually the same logo. I don't think it's the MCU logo. I think it's the Raimi Spider-Man Daily Bugle logo. Then again, I could be wrong. You're going to have to correct me in the comments below. But it does say West Coast Edition, so I suppose that is a way they could retcon it into the MCU if they want to, and say oh yeah, it is the same Daily Bugle, it's just there's West Coast Edition. And obviously, as you can see, he's working on Inside the Mind of Serial Killer Cletus Kasady. And another thing I want to point out is these drawings down here. You can see, for example, this drawing of a tree that says, to thee, the strife was given between the suffering, and then you've got some other little markings on that tree. And as we saw in the first trailer, those were actually some drawings that Cletus Kasady made in his prison cells. So seems like maybe when Eddie goes to visit him, he's gonna take note of these drawings on Cletus's wall and kind of investigate into them and see if he can figure out what they mean, because that might be some sort of cool mystery. I think that'd be really cool if like maybe they're trying to figure out like where some bodies are that Cletus hid all these years ago, and these drawings could be included. That I feel like that'd be really cool. And then you have a shot in the bottom right corner of what looks to be Ravencroft. Then, as Cletus is saying that he wants to tell a story, this looks like we got some sort of news crew here. There's Eddie, and this looks like some sort of quarantine crime scene type area. You got the cops and with their dogs and stuff in the top right corner. So this could be a crime scene and could most likely be connected to Cletus Kasady. The only question is this before he's out of prison or after? But you see that he's really obsessed with Eddie Brock, and I'm interested to see like how he really found out about Eddie Brock and why he became so obsessed with him and why there's such a connection between these two. And Eddie is just confused. He's like, "What? Why are you obsessed with me?" And then he's like, "What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine, including your hand." So this is a moment I loved here. I mean, it was very disgusting and creepy and sadistic, but that's who Cletus Kasady is. You know, like the first trailer, you could tell this guy was crazy. He's lost his marbles. He's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But, you know, this trailer, especially in this one moment, really shows you that, yes, he's a sadistic serial killer. He's literally trying to bite off Eddie's arm, or at least his hand. And he's even said, like, he's tasted blood and all this stuff. So this is a messed up guy. And Eddie looks kind of scared now. But, yeah, so he is just completely insane. And again, Woody Harrelson is like an amazing actor, so I'm really excited to see him take on this role in this film. Eddie going off and doing some cool motorcycle stuff. He got a cool red helmet. And then we get to see his transformation into Carnage, because we know that Cletus Kasady is going to be scheduled for an execution, but instead of being executed and the poison going into his veins and getting injected into him, it's actually going to be the Carnage symbiote. And I don't know if this is going to be like it's already in him and that's what protects him from the poison, or if that's what's actually injected to him. But we see that he just goes completely insane and completely crazy here. And you see him starting to transform. His hand is getting all red. And it's almost like his skin is just turning inside out. And it's just, again, so disgusting but so cool at the same time. And then this was one of my favorite parts of the trailer, because we see Cletus later on, after he's living the life, after he's escaped prison, he's looking all cool and stuff. And then I love the transformation into Carnage, because you see him slowly just like completely change over. And again, this is what kind of makes me think that maybe this actually is like literally an inside out version of Cletus Kasady, and that's just like, you know, bloody symbiote basically. Because, you know, with Venom forms up around Eddie, where with Carnage just kind of comes out of Cletus and just like replaces what was once there before. And then we get this great first shot of Carnage in the trailer, and it's not the greatest shot, but it's a nice introduction to what we'll be seeing later in the trailer as well. And again, he just looks so good here. I love it. And then this shot we saw in the first trailer, but it's done way better here. I love how actually they took both this shot and then there's a shot later in the trailer where he's hanging up in the church, which were both like basically our two big shots of Carnage in the first trailer. But they didn't really look great in the first trailer, but this trailer, they not only extend the footage of these scenes, but also like change the lighting, make it look better. So Carnage looks way better here. He looks amazing. And this is probably my favorite shot of Carnage, because this looks like when he is escaping prison, and this just looks exactly like Carnage from the comics, because, you know, he's that big red symbiote, but also super skinny, and he's just got that big sadistic smile on his face. You can see all the veins and the muscles. You can see the tendrils sticking out. He just looks so good, and I just took so many different screenshots of Carnage in this scene, because again, it was my favorite part of the trailer. You can see him just raging out here. This was another great part, how he takes this prison guard, shoves him up against the wall, and you think he's just gonna stab him with his tendril or something, but no. he gets ready to stick his full tongue down this guy's throat, and it is really disgusting. You get this great shot from the guard's perspective, where again you get to see that nice black outline on Carnage's face, and then he sticks his whole tongue down there, which is really messed up. Like, what? Why would you even do that, man? Can't be too tasty, but all right. This fall, that is another interesting about this trailer, is that it keeps saying this fall and doesn't actually say the release date, which I believe is September 23rd. It's September 20 something. I think it's, I don't know for sure. Would have been nice to actually said that in the trailer. Here's another great shot of Carnage. Looks like a helicopter is actually attacking him. Then we've got a shot of Anne and her husband. I don't remember her husband's name, or soon to be husband, I guess, as we see at the end of the trailer. So Anne and her boyfriend, looks like maybe they're escaping from some sort of explosion. Maybe Carnage is going after them, because this is something really interesting that I noticed here, because you have Cletus. It looks like he's talking to somebody, but not somebody, something. This looks like a picture frame, and this is a picture of Anne, and it even says "Love Anne." Although the interesting thing is that this does not look like Cletus's hands, so I'm thinking that maybe this isn't Cletus. I feel like this maybe actually looks like it could be Shriek's hands. And again, because Carnage and Shriek are working together, and because Carnage, or Cletus, has such a huge connection to Eddie, he may be going after Anne in this movie, which I think is really interesting. And then again, just another great shot of him just causing some carnage. Here's this shot we saw in the first trailer, which looks so hugely improved in this one. He looks great there. And then even Venom is like, oh wait, oh no, I'm not doing this. Like, that's Carnage. I'm not going to go up against this guy. Even Venom gets scared, just like Hulk in Avengers Infinity War. After Thanos so easily defeated Hulk, he was too scared to come out the rest of the movie. And Eddie's just like, oh, what are you doing? And then I love how Venom says he's a red one. So maybe this has something to do with the mythology and the species of symbiotes, because Venom talked about in the first movie how he was basically a loser on his planet. He was an outcast. So maybe we're going to explore more of the species of the symbiotes in this movie, and maybe it'll be like the red ones, the red symbiotes on Venom's planet were actually the more powerful ones, more carnage filled, more carnage causing symbiotes, which I think is really cool. But then of course Carnage goes full Carnage mode here, getting all those tendrils and all these spikes and sharp stuff, his claws and everything. So he looks so good here. He just looks, I mean, look at the teeth, the drool, the tongue. Oh, he looks so good. And then he's like, all right, you know, I give up Venom. I'll let you eat anyone you want, I promise. And then Venom's like, all right, let's do this. And then he gets ready to battle Carnage. And this looks like may most likely be the final battle. Looks like, again, we are still in that church. Carnage shoots a bunch of spikes at him. That's really cool. Venom is like running around on like all fours, like an animal. He looks so good there. This looks like Carnage, maybe. This actually I think is Ravencroft. It looks like you can see two figures at the bottom of the screen. Looks, I'm assuming, to be Cletus and Shriek. I don't remember Shriek's name, but as you can tell, I'm just calling her Shriek. So it looks like Cletus and Shriek are escaping again together, and it looks like they've actually burnt down Ravencroft. Or this could also possibly be the orphanage that Cletus grew up in as a kid, that in the comics he actually did burn down. But the fact that it's two figures here, I have a feeling this is actually Ravencroft. And then you see him just out on the streets, just dancing, and he's saying, like, I love you, Eddie, and you're, like, family and all this stuff. Another great shot of Shriek. This looks like after she's just escaped, because she's still wearing her prison uniform. Again, you got that cool eye thingy going on. She's using her powers. Looks so great. Cletus is, I think, robbing someplace. This might be the same store with Mrs. Chen. I can't really tell for sure. Venom just going into action. He looks great there. This looks like a shot similar to how when Venom comes out of Eddie's body to talk to him and it's just like the Venom head. It looks like this is happening with Carnage. So I'm really interested to see scenes like this, not only just to see the relationship between Cletus and Carnage, but also to actually hear what Carnage's voice sounds like. If it's the same as Venom's, or if it's different, or if it's, you know, I'm really excited to see it. I think it's going to be really cool. And then Another shot from what I think is the final battle, where you got Carnage just throwing his tendrils, symbioteness at Venom. Looks so good. And then one final shot of Carnage right there in the end, and Venom retaliating. And guys, let there be carnage indeed. I am so excited for this. Literally, this trailer gets me so excited. Again, I do wish it focused more on like what the story is, because we still really don't know much about that. But honestly, at the same time, I don't care, because Carnage looks so good in this, and that's really the main thing I cared about. And there's so many good shots of Carnage in this trailer. I absolutely loved it. It really makes me want to get like an action figure of this Carnage. Like, Hasbro, get on it. Give us some Marvel Legends Carnage. That's what we need, because this Carnage design is so good, and I'm so excited for Venom Let There Be Carnage. Again, it is coming out next month. This most likely is the final trailer, and I'm so excited for this. And hopefully now that this trailer's here, that means maybe we can get the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. But maybe not. We'll kind of have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this brand new trailer for Venom Let There Be Carnage? What do you think about the design for Carnage? And let me know all your thoughts, theories, and predictions for this film as well. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything goes on in the Marvel life.